We will be right back with more from Tots and Teens. I know you want to hear this juicy story about Guyana and AFC in APNU. So we'll be right back with Mr. Marshall and Mr. Clark from Georgetown, Guyana. AFC APNU organization in America is to propose market, to propose markets that things can come in, to encourage investors
Yes.
to go to Guyana to set up, not to sell. We wanted to, according to Kirk, a car factory, bicycle factory, and all these type of factory, camera factory, you know, so you have these things already set up there in Guyana that people can work, and then we can sell too because they go there, and that is open market for investors to come in.
Well, an investor
We
likes
don't
to
want
know.
like the Chinese coming in to sell dress and shoes and clothes. We don't need that. We need
Well,
the big investors, the car manufacturers. We need those type of people to go there.
Solid investment.
What-
Solid investment. We don't need clothes coming from China or shoe coming
Well,
from China.
I agree
and
with
thing.
that.
No, we don't need that.
I agree with that. But the government has to identify, along with Guyanese, what are the areas of priority for investment. You can't just open the door. These are the areas that we need investment in. And, you know, through legislation, through taxation, various regimes, you will attract investors. An investor wants to know that there's a customer on the other end of that product. It's not enough to build a car or create a product in Guyana, but is there a market overseas that will buy that finished product?
America take all the business and took it to China for cheap labor.
Yes, absolutely.
They can take it to Guyana for cheap labor too, and they're surviving. And we
Well,
will
well, the
survive.
Guyanese labor would have to be competitive with the Chinese labor.
that will raise another human interest.
Exactly.
No, but we have to, if
don't want
they're coming
sweatshops
to the
in
country,
Guyana, no.
Guyana have a lot of resources that need development.
Yes.
I agree
And that
with
it could spread to
Oh.
different, it have the medical field with the different type of, what we call the vegetation that they have in Guyana that is used for medical fields that could develop because our soil grows anything. And so this is where I feel to myself that ambassadors of Guyana should be on that trail trying to get business, trying to get companies to go and take up position in Guyana.
Yeah, but you gotta
They don't
also,
have to be Guyanese, but let them go there. We have too much of airline service. People need not to fly out again. They need to stay in Guyana. A lot of young people now are getting to do technology. We need computer factories.
manufacture.
Computer factories to computer factories to be there so that we don't have to buy these things or I gotta work in America and killing myself to pay my rent, pay my phone bill, pay my light bill, and then to eat, and then still you gotta buy things here now to send for your family. It's killing you when you come here and to upkeep both sides. When we have a big country in Guyana who could invest in things and get our young people there working.
I think, Ms. Trim, if I can add, I just love the way you said about the airline. People don't need to leave Guyana. The whole thing is this. I think when we look at Guyana, I think Guyana is ripe and ready. And I think anything is possible, and I believe Guyanese are ready. But the whole scenario is like everything else. We spoke earlier about the government being able to create wealth. Um, Creating wealth is one thing. Jim Rohn says it right. Jim Rohn says this. Jim Rohn says, woe be unto the man that possess $1,000,000 today, but tomorrow broke. Because the reality is, a lot of us have not necessarily had the training aspects of how to sustain a lot of things.
And all Guyanese leave broke
Because-
afterwards.
I won't say all guys. You're not gonna put me in that one. uh, but what I'm gonna say is that again, it's about a training of acceptance. Every single thing that we do takes
Needs
time.
training.
Everything that we do takes time. We've got to understand that Guyana is now in a rebirth process. It's a regrowing economy, and it's an economy that is not necessarily at the moment very stable, but at the moment it can be stable. I'm not in a position to say what are the key investments happening. But you know what? We found oil. But when is that oil going to really come into fruition to Guyana?
When I meet a
I'm
hunter.
gonna see it tomorrow. But then the whole scenario is when it comes, who do we have to really maintain, sustain, and then find the right relevant markets that we can then do this? So again, it comes back to the training aspect. There's nothing in life you can do unless you learn.
I want to be the devil's advocate.
So we got to get into some positively new habits.
I want to be the devil's advocate on this topic because I'm saying, and Miss Marshall, I'm saying, 23 years the PVP was in government, right? They clean out Guyana, treasury, everything that they could have cleaned out, the forestry. We never even go into the jungle where they went. Everything that they could have taken, they took. The APNO, well, was PNC, was WPA, was whatever the different parties. They all were in this scenario, knowing what was going on, knowing what was being capitalized, knowing what was destroyed, knowing what was stolen, sold out. They all know. I feel to myself that during their time of their campaigning, and they know what was going on, and they're campaigning, they know exactly now where to put their hand and feet to make things happen. They don't have to take a candlelight or light a matches to go wrong and such, because for the 23 years, they see what the government was doing. They saw the killings, they saw the land selling out, they saw the forestry selling out, they saw industry going on, they saw the president got a big house, and the ex-president Barjagdio got a big house, bigger than the White House, bigger than the assembly. His house is so big, I don't know. It take off how much lands, and plus his salary is more than what President Obama could get or ever get. So why do we still have that man still in Guyana when he should be locked up in prison? Because that is where it was. I'm saying he's an Indian man, and if he was in India, they'd stone him to death already. Because when they get out and find out these things that he didn't have a chance.
Ms. Trim.
The government of Guyana, I will say they're playing.
Called the process? You're a Christian. Have you ever heard something called the process? Everything takes a process.
Yeah, but then he shouldn't be out, because a process like that, he shouldn't be out. You know what he did. You don't have to wait now to get witness. You know exactly. Taking the money, taking such a money and from the people for his salary. That man should not be set free, because that is a charge.
Well, in Guyana's case, I mean, Guyana wants to be a country ruled by law, not by men. And so if you're going to do something with Jagdeo or anyone else, you have to be able to survive the justice system. You have to be able to go to court, and you have to be able to prove these things and then lock someone up. I'm sure there are countries in the world where they would have just picked any person up, throw them in jail, and you never hear from them again. But if Guyana is ever going to move forward and be amongst the modern nations, it has to follow a certain process, as Kirk mentioned. Many of us, yes, we know what occurred, but as far as the details, where this money ended up, whose name the property is in, and these very fine details, you have to go through a process.
Mr. Marshall, you live in America. You know that you get something too much, the FBI is at your door mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And the FBI is taking you down and everything that you have.
But before
you cannot tell me now that we know, America know that this man is corrupt, and Guyana new government going to know that he's corrupt, and then you're going to still tell me you're leaving him out there?
You have to be able to go in front of a court or in a court of
I
law
think
and prove your case.
I think
And even before the FBI picks up someone, they've built a case for a very, very long time
Mr.
so that it
Marshall,
survives.
Jagdio case built and overbuilt and cannot build no more. This is time for jail time. This is not no time for him to be running around to be free. You see it there. You hear the salary that
Yes.
he's getting. You hear you heard how much the house that he built. Right? He building houses and people can't get a job. So
Well,
why should the government wait on him?
I don't want to be in the position of defending Mr. Jack Dillon, and
Don't
indeed I
defend
will
him.
not be.
Don't
But if
defend
everybody
him.
with a big house get thrown in jail, a lot of people will get thrown in jail,
Because-
including people that we look up to in Guyana right now.
Because that is something that they should really investigate.
I believe
Where
so,
did
too.
you get this money to put up this big lavish house? No, these are all criminals. I don't care if they vote for the PNC or they vote for PPP, but they are all criminals in Guyana because they collect bribery. And once you could get things that your salary cannot account for, you should be placed before the court. I do believe that. And that is because if you do that, the next set of people that go, they will never want to touch anything. It will stay there and the country will be able to build. Because you working, okay, I want my birth certificate. I'm applying for a birth certificate. When I go to get a birth certificate, people from here, they go there. When you go, you got to give this person, you got to give that person. Bribery all the way, and that is what causes Guyana. And if you do, you still have the people there in office that is the bribery corrupt. God forbid, But honestly speaking, you change around the whole entire ministry, send them all into the military, and take the military and send them into the office. Send them into the office. So the military know what they will get if they do anything, and let they go and get training and know that because of the corruption that they have to get training for it. Come on, it's ridiculous.
It's true. There are better ways. And I'm a leadership trainer, so let me help you do this, man. Leadership is a process. The process is, first and foremost, Guyana goes through it this way. And first and foremost, the government is in power right now. The government that we all wanted is already in power. My whole scenario is, like every leader, you need to find yourself. You need to find your ground. Because they too have to be careful how they tread, how they walk, what are they doing. You have to also put you have to think about security. You have to think about jobs. So governance is a very tough thing. But at the same time, you have to be able to balance it in such a way, because you cannot meet every need. And not every need, I'm going to dare to say, not every need also needs to be met. So we have to prioritize what we do, how we do, and what they do. Because at the end of the day, they still have to give account for everything they do. Because if they then do this thing in a haste to just get to this, then nothing is going to get done, really. We're going to just be in a nation whereby we just seen a lot of people getting locked up. And then when we move all these people, then what?
You know what, Clark? Because we have this its and bits and what to do, that is why Guyana remain like that. Because every government that come in, going on the same pattern. Oh, if this happens to me,
it's only 200 days.
I love
for
America.
300 days.
I
Give it
love
time,
America.
Miss
Soon as
Trim.
you get a shot that you're not supposed to get, you're going to jail.
Miss Trim, give them some time to prove their worth. The beauty of governance is the polls. Let the polls speak loud enough. If we have somebody in authority and we don't like what they do, get them out. It's as simple as that. And this is a time where Guyanese need to have a voice, and that voice need to come. My reality in this, Ms. Trim, and I'm going to step on toes with this one, my reality where Guyana is, the church is dead and the church is doing absolutely nothing. In our time, everything that came and decisions were made, the church had a very big role to play.
So what good the church will do?
No, I'm not going to dare to say pastors are crooks, because not everybody, again, is corrupt. But what we need to be able to do is give the system the time and the process to grow.
Correct.
But the church
system
needs to get back into a voice.
The system is corrupt.
The system is one for a retraining system, and I think that's what the new president. I think that's what they're gearing to do.
The only retraining I see that the people of Guyana really need is to go in the national service, to go in the military service and train like how I train. I had to go in the sun, crawl, duck, dive. That's the training that they need to train their mind that they will not pick up anything.
That's not gonna work because I would never go nowhere near national service and crawl on any sun nor my stomach.
That's why you need to go in and then you will know what I'm speaking about, because when I went in there, I'm not the national service. I was trained in that way, so I know if I do anything wrong, what will happen.
I understand, but I think in this day and age, we got better systems than national service. And I think what
system do they have better than a national service? In America, have National Guard. They have what would they have?
Peace Corps.
Peace Corps. They have all these things for training for things. So where is the training in Guyana?
How effective are they? Every 3 to 4 seconds is a crime in New York. We don't have to come to New York.
Not as much, because among the people that is in Guyana, and among the crime that they're having, among the people that is in Guyana, and among the crime that is having.
On a per person basis, there's less crime in the United States.
Crime. You only hear about crime, but you see crime every day in Guyana.
It is not as bad as people say, because I'm saying this and I'm living in Guyana. We have crime.
Plenty.
But the reality is, you see, the media can literally exaggerate a lot of things. And I would say that fairly. And I'm looking at where we look at the crime situation.
The media don't put anything on Facebook. Everybody get a camera and they snap, and then you know it's a crime committed.
No, but if we did, Ms. Trim, you have to look at Guyana. Guyana is about what? 750,000 people. How many people out of the 750 that are eligible to vote? Out of the voters, how many people can literally sustain their living ability? From that, so the whole scenario, everything is a process. It's a retraining. It's something that can never happen overnight. It's something that you must give the system time. That for me, that's how I look at it. I'm not condoning crime. Believe me or hear me, I'm not condoning crime. But like everything else, who do we have as the crime experts? Where are they?
Criminals. Criminal police. Criminal.
Who? Because, for example, you basically pointed out there is the FBI, then there is the CIA, then there are all these places, there are all these people. There are all these people that go on different training and they get crime intervention techniques. Guyana go on training, we get crime intervention techniques. But how many of them are able to literally implement what they learn into a system? That's the different thing. So everything takes time. And I think with partnering with the United States, we're partnering with other first world nations. I think it will help the growth of Guyana. But again, it comes down to time. You have to give the economy time to grow. America, it didn't grow overnight.
No. But before we go, Cork, I wanted to ask a question. The police is the people that we want to know that we can call at any time when we corrupt. In America here, when you call the police, run for your life because they're putting you down. In Guyana, when you call the police, they don't come. Or they send other people to, you just come in the country and people know where you are. They're gonna attack you, kill you, take away what you have. You call the police, they ain't come in. The police come, they watch and say they know who is the criminal, they go and collect the thing. You see, that's the thing. The whole police system, and I see they're trying, needs to get a lot of training, and they want people, one-on-one, community, so you can trust the police. There's no trust in the police department. Guyana Police Department.
Again, it comes down back to time. We lived in a lawless nation where there was no law. Bible talks about where there is no law, people live basic according to what they believe is law. And if there is no example of law, then how could we set law? So now that the law has come into fruition, it will take time, it will hinder certain things, but it will also establish certain things. Everything, again, cannot change overnight. I think, like, for example, now we're finding corrupt policemen, but policing and corruption is not just Guyana, it's worldwide. In the United States, for some reason or the other, there's a whole lot of white policemen beating black people. Every black person that is arrested somehow is a criminal and thrown and beaten. And
But
when a white person is, so we can make.
but the system is working on that now because of the technology that they have. Yes, it used to happen, but now they're still working it because from the time you see something, it's on Facebook.
No, but what I'm saying, it's a process. I'm not accusing, but it's a process that must take its course because they just can't go overnight and just boom and fix it. That's the same thing.
Let me hear your final word. Our time is almost up.
Well, thank you again, Ms. Trim, for having me on this program. I'm very confident that in the next few years, in not too distant future, Guyanese, have a lot to look forward to with regards to the reduction in crime, with regards to investment in jobs and the education of our young people. For a long time, Guyanese have been in the wilderness. The right-thinking Guyanese have been in the wilderness. And now we're back inside, and we have a chance to rebuild our country, and I'm very excited about it.
And Kirk, your final word?
My final word is leadership. Leadership is needed. Guyana needs leadership, nothing else. We need proper example of what leadership is, and I think we have that. And I think we just need to be able to give the government enough time to do what they're in office to do. I think they can do it, and I think Guyana is on a good upward mobility rise. And I think this is the right time for the right season and the right nation.
Well, you have heard from both men, Guyana and America. And I was the devil's child, just trying to make things difficult for them. But they beat me to the punch. They beat me to the punch. They were able to educate you more of what is going on in Guyana. And he was able to tell you more of his knowledge of the government and what work they will do. And Cork, I must thank you very much because from Guyana, we were able to have some ideas of what's going on and your program that you're doing, leadership program, helping to train our young people. So in the future, we will have a better developed country and young people will be able to do much more. And Mr. Marshall, you're a member of the AFC, and I just hope that we not only AFC APNU, that not only that we look for the Guyana here, the country of Guyana here, but we also look not only that we know about the APNU in Guyana, but let us know of APNU AFC in America that is working so that people can come together because you need people to be educated to know what is going on, and we need to find our organization or our party whenever we need it. So it's nice talking with you here. Nice having you on. Nice having you on, Clark. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
Gentlemen.
Mr. Marshall, it's an honor to meet you, sir.
Thank you very much. It was great meeting you, and I hope we meet in person the next time I'm in Guyana or you're up here. Thank you very much.
Well, I will come knock at your door.
Okay. I'm looking forward.
Once again, that was Tots and Teens in Focus. We were a bit different because we were talking about Guyana today. You know, teens are all over there in Guyana, so we got to start giving the economy perspective so they will know what is going on and they will have ideas and they will know how they can develop themselves. And to you Guyanese, we say, this is Patricia Trim. You know me. You know I was just the person that you want to hear from. And to all our viewers here, thank you very much for tuning in and having fun with Tots and Teens in Focus with Mr. Ewart Marshall and Mr. Kirk Clark from Georgetown, Guyana on Skype.
Hello, New York. I'm Michelle McCallman, and I'm here with Asghar Coster, and we're here to bless you with a song. So be blessed. so I'll love you until the end. When shadows fall, you never change. From age to age, you never change. Great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. Through the years, you've always been there. And great is your love for us, your love for us. Through the years, you'll always be there. So great your kindness, God. You are my shelter, my hiding place. Your presence like a fire. Hope for tomorrow, strength for today. When shadows fall, you never change. From age to age, you never change. Great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. Through the years, you've always been there. And great is your love for us, your love for us. Through the years, you'll always be there. We will stand upon your promises. We are strong because our hope is in you. We belong, we belong, we belong. We will run, we will run, we will run to you, to you. So great is your faithfulness, your faithfulness. Through the years, you've always been there. Oh, and great is your love for us, your love for us. Through the years, you'll always be there. Thank you.